The National Guard will soon be helping at the Texas-Mexico border. Department of Public Safety troopers are already there.
And you're paying for it all. Taking a closer look, we found out in a House committee hearing today that the DPS presence on the border has cost taxpayers $5.8 million to date. National Guard troops are expected to cost some $12 million per month. And as KXAN's Kevin Schwaller explains, the border security surge has no definitive timeline to end.
The director of the Department of Public Safety says this is supposed to deter people from crossing illegally and to help secure a porous border.
The mission is to deny the Mexican cartels unfettered access and transnational gangs and criminal aliens between the ports of entry.
When I came to the session,
some members of this Texas House committee pressed DPS Director Steve McCraw for how long the surge on the border will last.
Hopefully until there's no need for it, and I think my understanding is until January.
Still, McCraw says the surge could last longer. He suggested the goal should be to get border apprehensions down in the area DPS is focusing its efforts. McCraw says the first week of the surge saw 6,000 apprehensions of undocumented immigrants. The numbers have since dropped to 3,600. His goal is to get the numbers to 2,000 apprehensions per week.
And we have to make a choice as to what we're going to do on the border in a long-term sense so we can be more intelligent with spending of the dollar.
And for that, we may have to wait until January, when the legislature is back in session. In Austin, Kevin Schwaller, KXAN News.
Some officials closer to the border say they don't support the National Guard push. Our Sally Hernandez is in Edinburgh traveling with volunteers from Austin. And Sally spoke with a judge who says bringing in the Guard is not the solution.
Well, while the Austin volunteers leave later on this week, city and county leaders that I spoke with say no doubt the humanitarian crisis will continue. And that's also according to the county judge here in Hidalgo County. Now, they're meeting weekly for their commissioner's court, but he was able to step aside and talk to us a little bit about what he's seen in his county. And he says that his county has pulled together to help with donations and at the most $40,000 from the county's budget. Not a huge dent, he says, whatsoever. He does welcome the volunteers in town supporting the undocumented immigrants, the moms and the children, and their basic needs. But there is one thing he does not support.
Do you support the troops being here, the National Guard?
No, I do not.
Why?
Because we're going to be spending as a state or a country $12 million of taxpayer dollars every month. To do what? Really, seriously, to do what? I think we're going to be bringing down military personnel, which is the wrong message and which are not going to be effective.
Now, County Judge Garcia says he does think the money should go to local law enforcement. It should also go, he says, to DPS, the sheriff's office, in training and beefing up security that way. He says what he does not want to see money used for is, in his words, in militarizing our border. Along the McAllen border, I'm Sally Hernandez, KXAN News.